Lady D is one of the most popular and iconic characters to be in Resident Evil, and one of the quickest viral sensations I've seen in a character in Resident Evil ever. Lady D's presence and style had a huge part to play in the success in Resident Evil Village. With the success of Resident Evil Village, fans' demand for a DLC was so strong, Capcom decided to go out of their way to make a DLC for the fans. With Lady D's short-lived moment in Village, fans are itching for more content with Lady D. So, in this video, I'll be sharing my ideas and theories about how a Lady D DLC could go, and I even have some ideas on how to bring her back to life one last time, or bring her back permanently and make her a new character in the Resident Evil franchise, but in a bigger way than you think. With that in mind, let's get into it. There are two ways a Lady D DLC can go. The first way is to dive deep into Lady D's past about how her life was like as a human outside the village. We can get to know where she's from, her journey to the village, what drove her to the village, and how her interaction with Mother Miranda was like. Also being able to see Lady D inherit the castle, her transformation to the Four Lords, and witness the transformation of her three daughters, and Lady D's bond with her three daughters would make a very exciting DLC. The second way this DLC could go is after Lady D's death, she is brought back to life. How, you ask? Well, here's how. So in this story of Resident Evil Village, Ethan finds out that his daughter has been turned into a crystal and spread out across the village. So Ethan has to get all four parts of Rose and bring Rose back. You see where I'm going with this, right? When you kill Lady D, you get the crystallized version of her. With this logic, you could bring her back from the dead, just one more time for us to fight and interact with. Now you're probably thinking, by this logic, you could bring back all four lords. Why only bring back Lady D? Well, I have an answer for that too. When Ethan is bringing Rose back, Ethan has to find Rose's head, arms, torso, and legs. So it's believed that you have to have all your features when you are crystallized as you did when you were alive, or it won't work. And what do you know? It happens that Lady D crystallized form is the most intact crystal than all the other lords. She has all the features she had when she died: her head, torso, and legs. Lady D in her dragon form didn't have arms. Now, with Lady D alive and well, let's go over another two ways we could go about her being alive. One, she comes back as the tall vampire lady just one more time, and we get one more chance to have an entire game where she chases us and we chase her, and we have another incredible boss fight. After a long game with Lady D, she is cured from the Megamycetes, but starts to grow old and turn into dust as all her years catch up with her. Or second, the big one that I think Resident Evil fans will maybe like this, they cure her and she is human again, but still evil. So she becomes a villain and tries to find a way to get some of her abilities back. With Lady D's unique personality and style and popularity, she could continue to be a very iconic character in human form and evolve into a continuous staple of a villain in the Resident Evil franchise and become similar to the villain Albert Wesker. If you're enjoying this content, make sure to leave a like and a comment, and most importantly, subscribe. What do you think of this idea? Do you think this is a good idea, bad idea? Leave your comment down below. Back into the video. Hello, it is me. I kind of want to talk about everything that I've talked about here. Now, before I get into what I'm about to say, this was just an idea. Basically, I just made this video for fun. Just brainstorming. Like, what if Lady D was this? What if this happened to Lady D? Just a fun way to make a video for Resident Evil fans to wait, content to enjoy before the DLC comes out. So if you hate this idea, or if you're planning to be toxic in the comments about why you hate this, calm down. It's not that serious. With that, let's get into this. So Lady D's past and backstory. Of course, that would be awesome to see Lady D, where she came from, her family, if she had kids, you know, just to see her journey to the village, how her transformation, and the whole situation, like see her over the years conquer the village, like, you know, get to see her in more depth would be very, very cool. Because, and also, we don't know where Lady D is from, and to see her backstory fully would be pretty awesome. Bringing back Lady D one more time. Now, the crystal idea, personally, I feel like makes sense, but of course, there's always some plot holes. Like, how is Ethan gonna even get the crystals from the Duke? The village is blown up. I mean, who would even want to bring Lady D back after they defeated her? Wouldn't really make sense. You know, they'd have to pay the Duke to get the crystals back. You know, like why would that happen anyways? But somehow, if that were possible, it's possible. If that even makes sense. Now let's get into bringing Lady D back permanently and comparing him to Albert Wesker. Now, I don't know if people are gonna think this is a good idea or if people are gonna hate me for this, but personally, I feel like there's an opportunity here where Lady D has just enough style, personality, popularity, like she's just the right fit for it. If she turned into a human and she got some of her powers in human form, she could just become the perfect villain. You know, like I'm not saying she could become like Albert Wesker, but I'm saying she could become similar to Albert Wesker. She could become her own separate villain, but in the grand scheme of being a villain, she could become like Albert Wesker, if that makes sense. I think that would be amazing to continue to use Lady D's popularity and make new, interesting Resident Evil games. As I said in the beginning of this outro, this is all just for fun. These are ideas. Don't get too triggered in the comments and try to be nice. And yeah, peace out.